Welcome to Horror Stories. Brace yourself for a chilling journey into the darkest realms of terror. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss an episode. Prepare to be terrified as we uncover spine-tingling tales that will leave you sleepless. Share your own eerie encounters in the comments and join our community of horror enthusiasts. Let the horror begin. Who's in my bed? One night, a dad went to his 7-year-old son's room to say goodnight. He knew that if he didn't, his son would have trouble sleeping. It was their usual routine. As he entered the dimly lit room, he saw his son waiting under the blanket. But something seemed different about his son that night, although he couldn't quite figure out what it was. Even though his son looked the same, he had a big smile from ear to ear. "Are you okay, buddy?" the dad asked. The son nodded, still grinning, and said, "Daddy, can you check for monsters under my bed?" The dad chuckled and got down on his knees to check, just to make his son feel better. To his surprise, he found his real son hiding under the bed, looking scared and pale. The son whispered,
"Daddy, there's someone on my bed."
The red wristband. There was a doctor working at a hospital where patients wore different colored bands. Green meant they were alive, while red meant they had passed away. One evening, the doctor was asked to fetch some supplies from the hospital's basement, so he headed to the elevator. As the elevator doors opened, he noticed a patient inside, minding her own business. It was common for patients to move around the hospital, especially those who had been there for a while, but they were supposed to be back in their rooms by 10. The doctor smiled at the patient and pressed the button for the basement. He found it strange that she hadn't already pressed a button herself. He wondered if she was also going to the basement. When the elevator reached its destination, the doctor saw a man limping towards the elevator from a distance. In a panic, he quickly pressed the elevator button to close the doors. Finally, the doors closed, and the elevator started ascending, leaving the doctor's heart pounding. "Why did you do that?" "He was trying to use the elevator," the woman said, sounding annoyed. "Did you notice his wrist?" the doctor asked. "It was red. He passed away last night." "I know because I performed his surgery." The woman lifted her wrist, revealing a red band. She smiled.
"Like this one?"
A mother's call. Upstairs in her room, a daughter was diligently doing her homework when she suddenly heard her mother's voice calling her to come downstairs for dinner. Startled, she quickly got up and started heading towards the stairs. However, before she could even take a step, hands grabbed hold of her and dragged her into the laundry room next to the staircase. Panicking at first, she soon recognized that it was her actual mother. Her mother's eyes were teary and bloodshot as she spoke.
"Don't go down there, honey. I heard it too."
The happiest day of my life. I witnessed my soon-to-be father-in-law tightly clutching his daughter's hand as they walked down the aisle. Tears streamed down his face, stirred by the wedding march playing softly in the background. It dawned on him that in just a few moments, he would witness me taking his daughter's hand and exchanging rings. With a radiant smile, I held her hand as we reached the altar, experiencing the utmost joy on the happiest day of my life. To my surprise, my bride's father suddenly dropped to his knees, pleading desperately. "Please, I've done as you asked. Just give my daughter back, I beg you." My expression turned stern as I glared at him. "Be quiet and stop spoiling this moment. If you return to your seat and embrace the ceremony, perhaps I'll reveal where I've hidden the rest of her body."